Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Adam, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about the Orbx app. If you like what you see, there's more helpful guides to flight simulation. Go check them out. I'll link them in the description below. So the Orbx app is a desktop application that you can manage your Orbx account straight through your desktop, all the products that they release, and you can actually configure parts of your simulator as well, which we're going to get into in a little bit. So who are Orbx? Well, Orbx are a major developer in flight simulation. They started back in like 2005, 2006, and they started off very basic and from their hometown of Australia. There were 4 or 5 regions of Australia that you could get. I think they were called like red, gold, blue, stuff like that. And then eventually they released it as an entire download, the continent. And it has developed and evolved and progressed throughout the years, but they are responsible for the overall visual look of flight simulation, and they are one of the best developers as well. They've done quite a lot for flight simulation. Now in this video we're going to be talking primarily about P3D version 4, but what we do talk about will be relatable to X-Plane, will be relatable to FSX and other versions of P3D, but I personally use P3D version 4. So as you can see, this is the app here, and down the left hand side are all the categories of the world, and then you've got your settings, and then here you've got your FTX Central number, the version number of the application, and in this case the version 3.3.60. Now that's soon going to turn to version 4.00. Basically Orbx are planning a update in the next few months to update this app completely. So it's no longer going to be called FTX Central as it's stated up here. It's going to be called Orbx Central. Now FTX relates back to when they first started. They were called FTX, and their line of products was all FTX, which I believe the X is from the FSX line, because FSX came out in 2006, and that's when their company started. And the FT was flight terrain, or full terrain, sorry, not flight terrain, full terrain, and the X is for experience, and it was shortened to FTX, and FTX Central became the app when they launched that. I think in about 2015 they launched this app, maybe 2016, but it's not long been out. But it is a brilliant app, and there's a lot of features in here I don't think everybody is aware of, and that's the reason for this video. So let's go into it right now. So again, like I said, all your categories of the world are down here. Aircraft, you got Bob. Now Bob is actually something you can utilize within your sim, and he's just basically a walk around. He's not an actual person or anything like that. It's just the camera. It's like chase plane at the end of the day, guys. And if you've got chase plane, you don't really need this. And there's not much in the control panel here. It's more or less, what kind of audio do you want to hear? Do you want to hear footsteps? Do you want to hear airport surroundings? Or do you want it to be default urban stuff? And if you tick this, it will actually, you will hear this when you're in first person Bob mode. It's kind of fun, but yeah, not much to yell about if you have chase plane. Now with every one of their products there is a user guide, and if you click it, it will flash up the PDF. Now there is a location on your computer where all the PDFs are contained, and that's where they go. And this tells you everything about it, how you can control it, you know, a lot of detail. I mean, every item in the FTX Central, which I'm just going to call Orbx Central from now on, in the Orbx Central app, all the user guides, they all do have very interesting information about its product. Not only the product, but its development. Here you can see this one was released in 2010. Now, this verify files button is a very important button, because there is a little bit of a problem at the moment, which I believe is getting rectified in version 4, which is when you download a product, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it may miss files. It may just accidentally miss 1 or 2 files. And this basically is like a checksum. You know, you click it and it will scan wherever Bob is sitting, the 47 megabyte download. It will scan it, and if it needs updating, like this one just did, it will update it for you. And if it's missing any files, it will actually install the missing files as well. Now, if you have a flight experience where you've got black tiles, you've got missing textures, maybe autogen has actually disappeared, or the trees, or anything to do with Orbx, if it's scenery problems, you're most likely missing files from your download, okay? It's very easy to verify your files. And of course, you can uninstall them here as well. And that's all that's in aircraft. Now, I want to show you how to check your files. So going up to global, this is everything for the global. So if we go into base pack, right, this is quite an important one because it's the base of your entire simulator. As we all know, simulators, when they first come into it, the default textures are very they're not very good, are they, guys? Come on. And so FTX Global puts in better looking, more photoreal textures, you know, and then gives it this look of that is quite nice to look at, compared to looks like, well, it just looks like omelet, you know. And a global base covers all of these regions, okay? Now, this little section here, I'll quickly talk about this just for a second, and then I'll go back to talking about verifying files. But this is their open LC plan for the whole world. Number 7 is last. Now, I'm guessing number 7, Australia, doesn't actually have land class built within the Australia continent because it is scheduled for a update in the future. Now, they are releasing Australia version 2, which is probably where this is coming into it. We've already got land class for North America, Greenland, and Mexico and the Caribbean. We've also got land class for Europe. We've also got South America land class. That was released, I believe, 18 months ago. And we know that they're working on Africa and Middle East. So that means Asia and the top of Asia, Russia, is likely to come. This is obviously going to get released in Australia version 2 when that releases very shortly for the recording of this video. So this is basically their floor plan for open land class. And open land class we're going to talk about in a moment. But getting back to the base pack. So the base pack, for me, is an essential part of your flight simulation. But it's basically going to start making it look like this. That, to me, looks photoreal. That looks exactly as it does where that picture was taken. You know, like where in the region of, not the exact locations of houses and stuff, but that's exactly what it looks like. It makes the world look more natural and more real, okay? But also, not only that, as you can see here, it actually fixes issues that were built in within the simulator anyway. But these are the kinds of things you'll get. You'll get different fields, and you'll get more variety of them. Higher quality. You'll get both winter and summer, or, well, 5 seasonal variations. You know, you get so much for your global pack. It really is worth investing in the base pack. For me, I see it as an essential part of flight simulation, having at least, as a minimum, the base pack. And as of recording this video, everything is 50%. So, again, verify files. If you click it, now I've already done this about a month ago, so it probably won't actually find anything. But here, it's going to scan all these files here. 18,271 files Orbx Global Pace Pack makes. And it's scanning every single one. And now, if this speed starts to do any numbers, or if we see megabytes happening in the when it's finished, that means I'm missing base pack files and it's going to replace them. Chances are it's not going to find anything, to be fair, because I quite regularly verify my files at least once a month. So I'll be very surprised if it does actually find anything. But that's basically how you can fix about 60% of your scenery issues. If you have Orbx installed, go and verify your files. because you will find that it's not an issue with the CFG, or it's not a conflicting airport, or an application that you've installed, or even a plane that has messed something up. It will most likely be that you're missing files from Orbx, because when you first download them, they don't all download, trust me. Now I have all my Orbx files on a separate hard drive outside of my C drive. And they're basically linked into the simulator. So the simulator does think that the files are actually within where they should be. Orbx thinks that they're in where they should be, but I have them separate out. And that's for storage and performance reasons. So here we go. We're about to find out now if there are any missing files. So guys, trust me, go scan your and verify your files on every. See, here we go. I just had, if you notice that, I did have about 25 megabytes missing. Now it's going to update my product. Now I have the latest global base pack version done. Okay, that is done. You got to do it for every single one. It's worth it though, it truly is. So I'm not going to go and verify all these files, but we will go and update or verify the libraries. Now these are very important because these are a special set of files, and there's obviously no control panel or user guide for them, but these are a special set of files that make everything else work, that basically sync up and, you know, say which version number you're running, and you know, also basically for security reasons as well, make sure that you've got legit copies. If your Orbx libraries are out of date, you might get problems. You will get problems, you know, in your downloads or your installations of Orbx. If you're running an older system here where you don't have any of this, then you have to download it from their website, which they do host them on their website. But installing the latest library will ensure that you not only have legit copies in your sim, but as you can see, January 2019 is the latest version number there, and we're going to click on it and we're going to find out if I've got all of them. Not only will it verify that you've got legit files in your sim, but that they're all going to be working, like all your add-ons, your global range, your Europe, your North American ones, they're all going to be working with each other. You know, the Orbx libraries are very essential files that need to be in your sim. So, in fact, yeah, there we go. I'm missing 230 megabytes of libraries in my sim. Now, I only did this like 2.5 weeks ago. I check the libraries quite consistently, and so I'm very surprised that I have different version numbers here. But anyway, I'm all up to date now. So, the lights configurator, you know what? I don't even touch this because I have black marble in my sim, and so it actually tells you to disable your Orbx lights, that you don't even really need these. So I don't even really, I mean, I have them, obviously I haven't uninstalled them, but I don't actually do anything with them, and it doesn't really make anything bad in my sim. I'm not going to talk about things that I've got and things that I haven't got. That's not what this is. We're just having a nice little tour. Now, the next essential part, if you're going to buy anything, is your vector. Okay, now like we said, the base pack, this is texture files only, fields, you know, different types of fields, corn, rape, whatever the field may be. Vector information is how them textures are applied within the sim. So it tells you where the roads are, it tells you where the lakes are, it tells the sim, where the shorelines are. It is a very helpful tool, and we're just going to make sure that we've got all of the files there. It has its own control panel, which is a very helpful tool, which we're going to come to in a second. It also has its own user guide, which tells you everything about it. And I really implore you to understand and read this, because it'll help you troubleshoot your own issues in the future. You know, it will help you, and you can see the difference here it makes. This is basically just a global base, and it looks okay, but when you combine it with vector and FS global mesh, look at that. It actually looks a lot better. The mountain in the background is more defined in this one than it is in this one. It's just kind of a lump, whereas this one, it has little pits and grooves. The lakes all come in a lot more than they do here. They're just kind of like generically put in. it all looks more natural, and that's exactly what Orbx are all about, photo real. So I really have a read through this. It even talks about your scenery library, which we're going to get to in a moment, and tells you the different layers of the sim. So you got your terrain mesh on the bottom, your land class dictates where your textures are going to be placed. So all the rocks go here, all the beaches go there, all the grass go there, all the town go there. And you've also got your textures on top of that, and it knows where to put them because all that information is in the land class. And then you've got your vector data about your roads, your streams, your highways, and then everything. It's combined everything, and you're kind of looking at like, imagine if these were all made of glass, and then you've got drawn images on the glass, and then they're all layered together to give you what you see in your sim. So, coming up to the end of this one, hopefully nothing missing here. Oh, always something missing, isn't there? But there we go. Okay, let's go into the control panel now, because now I'll be all up to date with that. This helps you to... Sure, some of these should have been unticked actually. This helps you to really configure your sim for your PC. So if you haven't got a really good PC, if you've got like a PC that's less than 4 gigahertz, I would untick a lot of these, because you're going to find that actually your sim's going to have more performance when you get rid of some things. If you've got a really good computer, then like you can see, you can keep them all ticked. Same with the water features. Now, I believe there is an issue with the frozen surface water that is actually meant to be unticked. If you see that you have black water in your sim, untick it. It's a problem with it, unless they have fixed it in a recent update, and that's why maybe all my ticks are back, because they've already addressed it. Who knows? I find there's a lot of performance you can get out of these by getting rid of like golf courses, or parks or power lines. Like removing a couple of these will give you a few more frames. Like golf courses, you really want to see a golf course while you're flying high at 35,000 feet? Don't think so. Untick it. This is a very important thing. I'm going to come back to that. And if you have FTX in Australia installed, which I do, that should be ticked. I don't know why it wasn't, because I do have FTX Australia installed. Now, this thing here, if you find that when you get into a airport and you have things at different heights, you have maybe bits of objects are floating in the air, and you have like blue lakes everywhere, and it just looks really weird. What you're going to want to do, and I'm not going to do it now, but you're going to want to run the auto configurator tool, and this, like it says, will scan all your add-ons that you have, see if there are any conflicts, and it will disable the ones that are in conflict, and it will remove that sort of height difference between possibly even the plane and your airport, and the components that make up the airport. And once you've run it, if you still have, once you've applied it and you go back into your sim and it's still doing it, then you can actually look up for the airport here and go, right, boom, disable, and it will, you can do it manually as well. And or it may be that it's already disabled, but it needs to be re-enabled. Maybe you need to put it back through on this side. And you can do either or, and then as long as you hit apply once you've done it, you're done. You've done it, really. And I really recommend that if you've just installed an airport, or you've just installed any type of scenery item, that you come and run this auto configuration tool. Once you've been in your sim, let it load in, come back out of your sim, run this tool, click apply, and then go reinstall your shaders, and you will find that your scenery is working normal. This talks to your scenery config, so you don't have to go in there and start meddling things, because if you accidentally put an extra digit in the scenery file, or you accidentally put something in the wrong order, you can seriously damage your sim. I never touch my scenery config. I don't have to, because this global vector tool does it for me. So I'm going to exit out without applying anything, because I haven't actually made any changes that I haven't already applied. So global vector, I really, really recommend it. Now, I also do have Blue Marble, and Blue Marble is kind of like a vector tool for your sim, but they work hand in hand. Not Blue Marble. Yeah, it is Blue Marble. Sorry, yeah, it is Blue Marble. They kind of work hand in hand in the sim, and what the Blue Marble has and this one doesn't have, like bridges, for instance, they work together in harmony. And so I use Global Vector, and I use the Chris Bell's Vector app as well. Land class, you know, at the moment we've only got Europe, South America, and North America. And that's a mesh file, sorry, that's not the land class. That shouldn't actually be installed because I have mesh already. So that one, I think, installed itself when I reinstall. I'm gonna have to verify these because, yeah, I didn't have that one installed, and when I installed the mesh thing here, that it reinstalled this one. So just gonna scan that to make sure that they're all good. So anyway, now again, if you have something you haven't yet installed, so like you can see I've got a couple of airports I've yet to install, it is worth verifying your files, because you might find that even though you've downloaded it, like I've downloaded these 3 airports here, I just haven't installed them yet. 4, sorry. I just haven't installed them yet. You might find that there are missing files, and once the this one has finished scanning, I will line up the next one. Well, I might as well do it now actually, because you can queue them up. So here we go. We're going to install this, and what it's going to do is it's going to download. Go to view downloads. It's going to download the airport, which will only take a couple of minutes because it's only a small aerodrome, not many files I imagine, and it'll be very quick to download, but it might miss some of the files as it downloads them. It might not download everything. So we're going to verify our files, and that will make sure that in the sim I've got everything. Now we are installing software into our sim, but we're doing it through the Orbx app, okay? So we don't actually need to do the whole process of running the vector tool auto configurator, because Orbx Systems does it for us. Once it downloads, you'll see a thing come down here and it'll say activating scenery. There we go, it's already done it. And that's doing exactly what the vector tool does. Activates it into your scenery. Now we're going to go to the control panel just to see if there's anything here I can untick. It's all fine. It's all default. We'll keep that. But we're going to go to verify files just in case it's missed anything. Only 179 to scan. Pretty much done that, and nothing, I don't think, that was missed. So that's fine. On to the next. Try this one. Install that. This one's kind of a little bit bigger. This is a proper airport this time, probably. Well, proper small airport. Not like a major hub international, you know, but a decent sized one, and so slightly bigger. That's like a proper installer, that is. 216 files. Done. Nope. And if I even go to verify, it'll just verify them, and it probably won't. No, that hasn't missed anything. Do this one, install. In fact, we didn't verify these, did we? We just installed it. So let it, it's installing the other one. There we go, nothing missed there. And then that one we can verify because that's the one we just installed. Nothing missed there. And finally, we'll install this one. And that's how simple it is to install. I've just installed 4 airports into my sim in the space of 2 minutes, and made sure their files are there as well by checking every single one. Like I said before, it doesn't like miss them on everything. Sometimes it misses nothing and gets it first time, but sometimes, like you've seen, it does miss stuff and doesn't get them all. So there we go, I've got everything for England there. And so it is good to verify your files. I do implore you to do that. I've still got to install a few sceneries for... No, Australia's all done. For America, I've still got a few Americans here not installed. So I'm going to go away and do them. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Make my bell ring, hit the subscribe button, and you'll get all the flight simulation videos that I release. I release at least one a week, and I do flights as well, and hope to see you in the chat. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.